again, your book is called Enlightenment Now. Now's, writ very, very large. On one hand, you kind of have a relaxed view of history because you're saying things are getting better, but there's a real urgency about this book. What's at stake, and how much time do we have?
I think what is at stake is a cynicism and a fatalism about institutions that have strengthened since the Enlightenment, that push back against the darker side of human nature, that are very much worth cherishing, such as liberal democracy, such as organizations of international cooperation.
And they're in genuine peril, you would say.
There's pushback. I don't want to say they're on the verge of collapse, but they're definitely
We don't want to be
forces.
too miserable here, do we?
I don't. Yeah. And science and fact-checking journalism, basically institutions and norms toward truth and human well-being. Mm-hmm. They're threatened. I don't think they're on the verge of collapse. I don't know if it's yet a rise level of crisis, but they're certainly threatened. And not just by forces of authoritarian populism, but by cynicism and opposition also from certain sectors of academia and intellectual life as well. So I believe that these Enlightenment values need a defense.
For fear of sounding like the miserable press that puts negative headlines on the front page, when does Steven Pinker get so alarmed that you actually start saying, this is really serious? You mount the barricades, with your trumpet, and you say it's time to get, it's time to panic.
Well, I don't know if it'll ever be time to panic, but certainly the rise of Trump and authoritarian populism are causes of deep concern. Anything that elevates the threat of nuclear war, such as the standoff between the escalation of rhetoric between North Korea and the United States a year ago. News about climate, if we don't have policies that start to push back, that would certainly be cause for concern. So these are, again, if panic is the response, then that would not serve any purpose. But if the deterioration is incremental, right? Where do we and we don't even notice it going downhill? When is the right moment to jump in? Oh, well, we should always monitor everything. So if things go down gradually, we should be aware of it year by year, as we are in the case of climate change, where that's not a catastrophe, at least not yet, but we can measure CO2 emissions, we can measure climate, we can measure sea level, and so we can see it happening well before a catastrophe.